Just when you thought Sony couldn't release any more expensive things that you can't really afford right now, they've got to announce this. The 50mm f1.2. Oh yes.
First, this video is sponsored by Squarespace.
But the thing is, nobody really needs a 50mm 1.2, especially when cameras can go to stupidly high ISOs without showing even a smidgen of that noisy crud. But it's not about noise, it's all about this. Not my face. All that creamy bokeh-liciousness you'll get from a supremely fast 50, like a 51.2.
Yes, it's a crazy fun lens that you don't really need, but you just might really want.
So currently Sony has got the 50mm 1.4, the 50-50-50, aka the 50mm 1.8, the 50mm 2.8 macro, and the 55mm f1.8, which is not really a 50, but it's a 55, so it's close enough, yeah? But conveniently they've left a massive gaping hole for a big bottomed 50mm 1.2 bit of glass to park its supersized arse. And here we are. Bosh. Mwah.
As far as glass arse goes, it's not all that Maximus.
But I'll have you know that its derriere and its front parts are not too oversized. I mean, I thought it'd be much bigger than this for 50mm 1.2. They've kept it quite compact, relatively. I mean, when you compare it to some other mirrorless lenses, it's not that long. It's not that heavy too. And that's perhaps because in its construction they use some kind of hybrid of metal and engineering plastic, whatever that means. But mostly it doesn't matter, it's quite a solid lens, and the most important thing is that it's got quite a good balance because it's not too front heavy.
Another thing I like, it uses reasonably sized 72mm filters, so I can share filters from other reasonably sized lenses.
But before we get to important parts, not sharpness, the bokeh of course, you might be pleased to know that the focusing is quick. Really quick. Now some fast 50s are bum-achingly slow to focus, which can be a bit of a problem when the depth of field is that shallow and your subject is moving anything faster than a snail's pace. Now this thing has 4 XD linear motors and it does all the focusing internally. It's fast, it's quiet. That's pretty much all you have to say about it.
For stills, it snaps into focus quickly and accurately, and I'm just focusing on a backlit bit of card.
It's speedy enough to instill you with confidence when you're shooting moving subjects at f1.2 that you'll actually nail the focus.
For video, this is what it's like.
And the minimum focusing distance is 40 centimeters, which is probably about that.
Yeah, let's give up with the high five. I doubt anyone is going to high five their screen.
What else has this lens got? Well, it's got lots of boring stuff inside, lots of names of elements and coatings, which really should be on a need-to-know basis. What's important is what it does, and this is what it does.
No, it doesn't turn you into a crap magic act, it's the image, innit?
They say it has low chromatic aberration and excellent corner-to-corner sharpness. To me, there's no point seeing what it performs like at the smaller apertures because this lens is made to be used wide open.
It performs pretty well wide open, decently sharp with a smidgen of vignetting. Even with all the lens compensations turned off, it shows hardly any chromatic aberration on those contrasty bits, and low distortion. Lovely jubbly.
Bokeh is always something to worry about because when you have a sharp, well-corrected image, you don't always get nice-looking bokeh.
And I've been informed that they've purposely designed this with good bokeh in mind.
It's got 3 XA elements with, in their words, 0.01 micron surface precision to suppress onion ring bokeh. Onion rings, onion ring bokeh, not so good. To be honest, I don't really give a flying shiza how precise in microns whatever it is. All that's important is, does the bokeh look good?
I'm afraid to report that it's all good news. The bokeh is blooming marvellous. Undoubtedly, it produces some of the most eye-pleasing bokeh I've ever seen for a while. It just takes visual elements that might end up looking jarring and mashes the hell out of it, turning it into a lovely bokeh puree. Tree branches often look crap in bokeh form. Not a problem here. Balls, smoother than a lubed up egg. Don't ask me why you'd need to do that. It just pumps out that pleasing out-of-focus gorgeousness 360. Hell yeah, cup those smooth bokeh balls.
And that's pretty much all there's to say about this lens. It's the mutt's nuts. It's the dog's dingly danglies of the optical world and is available to you for €2,300 or £2,100. US price, I'll put it down below because I don't actually know it. I mean, it sounds kind of expensive, but it's kind of not. There are 50mm 1.2s available for much, much more than this.
Sony were most definitely missing out on a mad, magical 50mm bokeh making machine before, but this, the 50mm f1.2, has filled that vast void rather perfectly.
it's a bargain, especially so if you bought any of Sony's recent premium priced products. Thanks for watching, see you again, and shout out to the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. You should use them if you want to start up your own website. Why? Because they're brilliant.
If you want to set up your own domain, online retail space or website, it's super simple to get started and make your next move with Squarespace. With an easy to use interface filled with loads of templates and backed up with 24/7 customer service. You can try it out with a 14-day free trial and get 10% off your first order with this link and discount code.